All right, let's do this. What's up, everyone? I'm Jack Fossett. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to this demo and review of the Fender Standard Stratocaster. I'm going to right off the bat state, I don't recommend this guitar. I don't think you should buy it. Now, and that's not one of those tricky things that people say like, don't buy this guitar unless you want great tone. It's that crazy clickbait stuff. I don't think this is a great guitar. Now, this is a video through the Zzounds affiliate program. So how does that make sense? Well, I'll tell you. Here's the cool thing. Zzounds does encourage me to give an honest review. I told them that right from the start. I'm going to give honest reviews. I'm not going to pull punches if I have to. They said, absolutely, we want people to get the right gear. So how does this make sense for them? Well, the affiliate links below, which do support me and supports them, it doesn't matter what you get through it. So you could go through the link, goes to this guitar. You can buy anything on the site through that link. That gives them a sale. It gives me commission. And that's why they're able to support this. They want you to get the right gear, and they want you to get it through them. That obviously makes some sense. So I am going to give this guitar a fair shake. I'm going to play it and not like purposefully try to make it sound bad or anything like that. I'm going to play it through a Supro Montauk with a Keeley Super Fat mod for the overdriven tones. I'm going to do a jam, talk about this guitar a little bit, and then we are going to do a full run through of all the pickup settings, both clean and overdriven. Let's get into it. We'll talk more about it in a minute. All right, so got this guitar on loan from Zzounds, as I just said, and I've already done a comparison of this one with the Squier Classic Vibe Stratocaster. I got them at the same time. I'm not in any way an anti-Fender person, so I'm gonna do a lot of disclaimers and things when we're doing a negative review, basically, because honestly, from a reviewer standpoint, sometimes you give a positive review and you get people who are just like, well, you're just a shell. Okay, fine, whatever. And I do understand people's suspect, particularly of reviews with any sort of sponsorship behind them. I get it. I really do get it. So, I've put up like, hey, this is an honest review through the Zzounds affiliate program, and some people have been skeptical. How could a review through an affiliate program be honest? Like, yeah, I understand that skepticism, absolutely. But can I also tell you that I get way more blowback from a negative review than I ever do from a positive review. Sometimes you'll get people saying like, oh, you glazed over this and this is a bad feature and why didn't you do that? You're paid to... But you give a negative review of something that somebody loves or a brand that somebody loves, and we kind of get a lot of nasty comments about that. Here's the thing about this guitar. It's not total junk or anything, but it's overpriced and I don't think it should have the Fender name on it. I think this would be fine at about a $350 to $400 Squier level. That's what I would see this. It kind of feels like a Squier, like a cheaper Squier. Obviously some Squiers feel and sound great. This has a sort of like a satin back of the neck. It's made in Indonesia, and it just feels like a cheaper guitar. I think it sounds like a cheaper guitar, and I did have some quality problems with this one. So this has a poplar body. It has an Indian Laurel fingerboard. None of that's out of the ordinary for its price point. This is $5.99 new. And it has ceramic pickups and a 2-point trem. I will be perfectly honest when I say the best feature that I thought would be the 2-point trem, which I didn't get to use because the tuning on this was such a nightmare that I didn't even want to screw in the whammy bar. I had to retune this so many times, and in fact, at one point, it's just going to be on this. You know, if I have to stop and retune, I'll usually kind of cut the clips to make it more seamless for all of your viewing pleasure. This time, I couldn't do it again. So you will see one point where I stop and retune, and I quicken up the video clip and everything, but it's not holding tune at all. There's actually some binding in the nut, which is leading to a slightly sitar kind of buzz sound on the B string. Now, I should mention here that that's a quality control issue. That's obviously not on every single one of these guitars that's going to come out of the factory. However, quality control and consistency is also part of this. So, you know, Fender's quality control I have seen slip in recent years. I've seen more problems like this on more instruments than really should be coming out of Fender. Again, I want to reiterate, I'm not an anti-Fender person. I actually love Fender. You see them on the wall behind me. I've been a huge Fender player and fan for years, and I would love nothing more than to see Fender do a great job with their guitars. In that realm, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put affiliate links to these below too, again, kind of going back to the point and thanking Zzounds for allowing me to, I don't want to say allowing me to do an honest review, but to say encouraging me to do an honest review and not giving me any sort of negative response afterwards. I think there are two guitars on either side of this coming from Fender that are better. I think the Squier Classic Vibe is better. It's a lot cheaper. If you're going to boost up a little bit, I think the Player 2 just absolutely destroys this guitar. The Player 2 series is really good. I'm impressed with the Player 2 series. I have reviewed the Player 2 Telecaster, and Jim from my band, who's another guitar player, plays the Player 2 Stratocaster. He has like a Mark Knopfler-esque one that's red. It has the rosewood fingerbar. I'm not sure if those have rosewood or not. I'd have to relook at that. But anyway, and it sounds great. He plays it into a twin reverb, and it's just, you know, it just sounds awesome. Either of those are better. You know, so for those of you kind of in the market for a good Stratocaster, we've got one that's less expensive. We've got one that's a little bit more expensive. The Player 2's $799. This one's $599. That's definitely $200 extra well spent, in my opinion. With this one, it seems like Fender's trying to hit the demographic of younger rockers who want a real Fender to have it say Fender on the headstock. That's a little bit more aggressive. I say that because it has ceramic pickups. The pickups sound decent if you're rocking out. They definitely sound better with gain than I think they do clean. Clean, they just are, you know, they're not like utterly terrible, but they don't have any sort of sparkle, and particularly on the 2 and 4 positions, they don't have any of that saggy quackiness that I associate with a Stratocaster. But, you know, if you're plugging in distorted and rocking out harder, like, yeah, they fill out nicely and a bit more than a normal Stratocaster would. But again, I think they're trying to get young kids who are rockers who want a real Stratocaster, and that's kind of a ridiculous term anyway, because, you know, Fender is right now, it's a business that owns the name Fender and puts out guitars in that ilk, so what's more of a real Fender? Something that the current Fender Corporation is putting out? Or is it someone who builds it exactly like Leo did back in the day? I don't know. That's kind of more of a philosophical question. But anyway, I just honestly, in good conscience, can't recommend this guitar. Do feel free to leave in the comments if you disagree with me. If you're somebody who has this guitar and you love it, you know, I definitely got one with some quality issues. Not tuning up well at all. There's a problem with the nut. You know, if you got a really good one, maybe you got one that sounds different. I don't know what the consistency level of the pickups is. But let us know what you think. Stick around for a full run through of all the pickup settings, clean and overdriven. Let us know what you think of this guitar in the comments. Again, thank you to Zzounds for, you know, providing this guitar for me, and also, again, being encouraging of the honest reviews. And make sure you do your shopping through those affiliate links below so I can keep bringing you videos like this. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
From cobblestones to parking zones, there's something in the air. High-heeled shoes are giving me the blues, but no one seems to care. Never telling who you'll meet when the sun sets down on Wharf Street. Old folks all get provoked when the papers print their lines. In their youth they know the truth, it's clearly been defined. They have to feel that they're offbeat when the night is young on Wharf Street. Closing time, they stream mountain lines. The girls all trip and fall.